Hello and welcome to another update video about Mara. In this video I want to take a look at the price development of the December 2022 lows and or the January high, the January 23 lows. And if you'd like to see a bit more context, check out my last video which I made middle of July on this channel. But at the moment there is no change to the wave count. So I just want to give you an update and show you an alternative interpretation as well. So the idea is that price moved up in a series of 1-2 setups. So we had a wave 1 to the upside of this December 22 low, wave 1 up, a wave 2 to the downside, another 1-2 setup, and we could be in the third wave now. So up there you see the third wave up there. So uptrend in play. In the third wave we have a 1-2, 3, a third of a third wave. This is exactly when I made the last video. Third waves are typically strongly trending waves, and the third of a third wave is typically the most aggressive one. And in the last video we were here and we said a wave 4 pullback is due, and I told you to use the trend line as a first indication that the trend is breaking, and I think that was a good signal. Okay, we already defined the relevant support area here for the wave 4 pullback, and price did get into this region. What is important is that it's not dropping below 1342 in this particular scenario. What happens if it breaks below it? Then our alternative wave count comes into play. We're going to talk about that in a minute. At the moment, I count it as an A, B, C structure, and the C wave would be an ending diagonal, and it really should hold 1342, or it will morph into the alternative wave count, which would at the moment not be bearish. It would still be a bullish trend, but it would be a little bit less reliable. If we hold here 1342, price can turn around in a fifth wave. This would be a larger third wave. Should then come down in a fourth, move up in a fifth, and so on. It just cascade higher. This would be the impulsive development on this chart. So I take the trend line out now. I don't need that anymore. But yeah, it's now in an area where it really needs to turn around. However, it is also not unlikely that it's going to come down a little bit lower. Why? Well, it's just because this series of 1-2 setups, sometimes it is a bit ambiguous and sometimes it just doesn't work out, and you should then also consider a diagonal structure. So if you have a couple of 1-2 setups, a diagonal structure is always something that's worth considering, which would be this scenario. Yeah. This is a diagonal structure in which we can leave the wave 4 a little bit more space. And we've got this trend channel on the chart here. And I would not rule out that we come down to the trend channel support line. And we can also use the Fibonacci retracements to calculate a decent or reliable pullback area for a wave 4 in this alternative wave count. And typically, in this scenario now, we could allow for the wave 4 to come down to the 61.8 retracement at 860. That would be lower than I would actually want it though. Ideally not below $10. Yeah, ideally not below $10. This would be my alternative wave count. And if we break below 1340, then we have an understanding that the alternative trend here is playing out. And in this, if we add a sub-wave structure for this particular wave count, I would consider this just a longer C wave which is unfolding. So also here an A wave, a B wave, and the C wave just a little bit longer. Depends on where the C wave ends, I would say. Yeah. These are the two scenarios. And overall, however, I mean, unless the $10 level breaks, I would still look at higher. Below $10, we pretty much will come back to the 870 level. The wave 4 would still have a chance, but you know, as soon as it breaks out of this trend channel to the downside, it is going to become very unreliable. And below 870, literally, it will get extremely difficult for price to still maintain upside momentum. So yeah, that's sort of how I see Mara. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.